what does it take for India to become the next Turkey? What are the ingredients that's required to India to create the games for the world? India is already creating software for the world when it comes to anything else. A lot of the big software development companies have their back office in India for development. Why has it not happened for gaming, and what does it take to happen?
Yeah, I think gaming or the kind of gaming that Turkey became very successful at. We call them as long form entertainment games, right? The games that are played for several years. Okay, for that you need few very very core key ingredients. You need the programming talent, and you need the art talent, and then you need the whole design talent, right? Game design, and finally you need to marry it and tie it all with the strong economy design. Okay, so to build a great gaming studio, you need to have a team that that is a intersection of all these things, and that's when magic happens. And in a way, something like this happens when there are larger companies in the ecosystem, and a lot of people who leave those companies and start smaller companies after learning the know-hows from that. And I think that happened in Turkey because people who were working in larger game studios in Europe or in USA, they went back to Turkey, got together and started building these studios. Studios like Peak Games, Gram Games, many of them were bought by Zynga recently in the last 12 to 14 months for 200 million plus valuation. I think those are the ingredients that you really need to build studios of this kind. And I think there are some things that Indians are good at, and we are always been good at creating products for the world market, right? We have always been the back office of the world, building world class products. But gaming is slightly different because you have to marry economy design, you have to marry the whole the design, the game design as such, the whole the art style. So it is not just one or two things that you need to get right, but you need to get four or five things right. If you get 3 out of 4 right, you will not make it. If you get 4 out of 4 right, you will make it. So that's how crucial it is, because ultimately as a studio you are competing with the best companies in the world.
Do you see different challenges when it comes to making games for India, Rohit? Whether it is language barrier or is it the content that has to be hyper localized? If you look at games which are being created, which are these kind of story kind of games, you look into it. There is always based on some kind of historic event, whether it's a war, whether it's a kind of historic event, a coup, etc. So here, when we come to India, there are a lot of history per se. So there's a lot of mythological history, there is other history, political history, etc. Do you see that as a challenge to the India market? How does it change when it sees the world versus the India market game development?
Yeah, I think see, we have to be very optimistic of the gaming market, because you should look at it at the very early stages of gaming in India. Because see, right now you have a huge market, bandwidth costs are negligible. Okay, everybody is getting familiar playing all these games, so it's like the global gaming studios are kind of teaching Indians, okay, this is how the games are, to be designed, and they're setting certain expectation in the mind of consumers. But as in any other content medium, content will move local. Okay, it happened to television studios back in 2000. It's happening now to OTTs. The content will move local. It happened to YouTube a few years ago. Initially, the content will all be global, but after some time, people want to consume local stuff, and that is where the opportunity for gaming studios in India that are building games with a very strong Indian theme in them will start making a big difference. So I think we are still in very early days, and I think the next 10 years are going to be great. I think as angel investors or people in this forum, they should bet on teams. Okay, uh, you shouldn't wait for people to show you how it's going to work. You have to bet on the team and give them money, and make sure that they will then get it right. So if you think you're going to wait for somebody to figure it out, they wouldn't need your money after they figure it out.